Video we're going to be going over weak spots on some very commonly played tanks, being the Panther, the Pershing, the T-32, and the Centurion 1, which is a garbage tank. We have my assistants Alex JL in the heavy tank, me in the Pershing, Black Attack, who is hot, single, and horny in his Panther, and 13 Rad, who is a Canadian in his Centurion tank. Let's get started. Now we're not going to be running out into the field killing each other. We're going to go into the middle of the field until we're all spotted. We're going to identify weak tanks or weak spots on each other's tanks, and we're going to explore that, kind of like the human body, and that'll be fun and interesting. Sometimes it gets a little bit dirty. Exactly, Black. So everybody meet up in the middle of the field, and whoever wants to volunteer to get shot first, you will only be shot one time, so don't worry. Alright, Black wants to be shot first. The stereotypical German Lower Iglesias is what we're going to be talking about. I'll race you, Big Papa. Hello. Alright. No. Hold still. Stop charging at me. That's scary. Alright, so on German tanks, the biggest thing you want to look for is the lower Iglesias plate, because most German tanks have a very large lower Iglesias plate, which is unfortunate because I like German tanks. Now, the transmission on most German tanks is on the lower left side, and if you shoot it there, it will probably set it on fire. Not always, but you've got a pretty good chance of doing it. So I'm going to shoot Black in the lower right side from my point of view. And it penetrates, it does damage, but unfortunately, and fortunately, because I don't want to kill Black, it did not set him on fire. Just remember that when you're shooting at a German tank, that you probably want to hit it there. And they also have very, very soft side armor. And usually they have pretty large commander attaches. But some of the things that people don't realize is that E100s actually have more armor in the back, sloped at an 80-degree downward, than they do have 120 millimeters of spaced armor on the side. So if you meet an E100 and you get behind him thinking, oh, I'm going to kill this guy from the back, and you bounce and you scream hacks, he's not hacking, you're just stupid. Ow. Black, since I shot you, I want you to shoot me in the very side of the turret where these 9 little cheese grater marks are, because that is where my ammo rack is. Let me back up a little bit so you can get a better shot. American tanks are very notorious for being easily ammo racked in the turret. Shoot me in the cheese grater, Black. You see that? Yeah, like right there, there's 9 little marks on my tank. Yeah, that is where my ammo rack is. So if you shoot a tank there, such as Alex's T-32, he also has a large spot right there. Or you can shoot him in the back of the turret on some of the heavy tanks where their ammo rack is located. But luckily for the American heavy tanks, they have a lot of armor on their turrets, so when you shoot them in the turret, you might not penetrate and you'll bounce like I just did there. Now, 13 is a British tank. 13, where is your weak spot that you wish to reveal? Yes, that is true. The British tanks do have relatively powerful gun mantless. Now, you may notice all of these lumpy lumps on the side of his tank, which you can probably assume is going to be where his ammo is stored. So I'm going to point off to the side of his tank. Well, you have 2 ammo racks in your tank, which a lot of people don't know. So that is a good point 13 just pointed out. If you look at the front of my tank, I have an ammo rack where the cheese graters are on the side of my tank. And usually in the lower middle part of your tank, if you fire around into the lower Iglesias plate, you may get lucky and blow the secondary ammo rack where all your excess ammo is located. So I'm going to fire at 13 into his little ammo side purse there. Did I hurt your ammo rack? I damaged your ammo rack, so if I were to shoot him there again, unfortunately it did not blow his turret sky high into the sky. Now, Alex, ow, stop shooting me. Alex has a very vulnerable lower Iglesias plate because he is in a heavy tank. And you obviously do not want to shoot his tank from the front because he has a very nice mantlet. And being an American heavy, they are generally very solid. 13. Please back up and do the honors of guessing where his ammo rack is. Should not be hard being an American heavy, being an American tank that you're usually marked with giant dominoes. So Alex, turn your turret off to the right. Your other right. That works too. Fire when you're ready, 13. Did he hurt your ammo rack? Aim a little bit farther back on the turret. Did he get it that time? Or... Still trying? Oh, he got his radio. Well, you're lucky. Okay. Something... Nice shot absorption. Something I've noticed about the American medium tanks. Black, shoot me in the front plate. The upper front plate. Anywhere near the middle. Your radio man... Okay, stop shooting me. The radio man in a lot of American medium tanks gets killed as soon as you get into a fight because in the middle of your tank is lying your radio man with a tiny little CB radio crapping his pants every time a round goes flying into the tank. Now, again, with Black's lower Iglesias plate, did not set him on fire. 13 is very vulnerable here unless he repaired his ammo rack, because if I were to shoot him in the side of the turret, a very high chance that he would just explode into a big ball of flame. Or I could fire here and try and hit his secondary ammo rack, which unfortunately would not lower his speed any more than it already is. Now those are just some of the common weaknesses of tanks. Obviously you want to shoot people in the engines. A lot of the Russian tanks have these big fuel tanks sticking off to the side of their tank on the back lower. And then you always want to aim for the lower Iglesias plate on tanks such as the T-32. Go ahead and kill each other. I think I just ammo. No, I didn't. Never mind. Oh, we're out of time. No. We killed both the red team. We're good. Let's see what modules I broke. On the Panther, I damaged his engine, which could set him on fire, and I toasted 13's ammo rack.